We're taking a live look outside as we kick off a very wet start to our Saturday morning out there, but we also have a first warn in place as we are tracking a large winter storm system pass us by to the north. Now I'll get you a look at what that means for us, not only here in the Kansas City metro, but up towards the Missouri-Iowa border, where many of our viewers up there have been finding some snow showers last night and so far this morning. There is a lot going on with this forecast though, because today is not the only first warn we have in place. We have another one on your Sunday for a big drop in our temperatures, and then Monday snow showers make their way into the forecast, potentially bringing us our first snowfall accumulation of the season. So have a lot to get through. Let's of course start off with your Saturday morning. If you've woken up this morning, already looked out the window, or maybe you've already headed outside today, you've noticed it's wet out there. We're dealing with a lot of rain and showers that have been streaming across the Kansas City metro and essentially the entirety of our viewing area all morning long. That will continue to be the case through the rest of the morning, and then in the afternoon is when we may find a couple snow flurries out there. But first, here's the current situation. I've seen this rain coverage grow in intensity as well over the past hour. If we look up towards Bethany, Chillicothe, even up towards Maryville, they are on the northern side of this rain snow line, and therefore they are finding colder temperatures and snow showers out there, while in the Kansas City metro and surrounding areas, we are talking purely rain. So that's been the situation so far today. Last night we had a bit of sleet, a bit of wintry mix in and around the metro. That is not the case right now and will not be the case throughout the rest of the morning, but I do want to get you a look out west. So check out where we can see some much stronger rainfall, more intense rainfall just now moving eastward on I-70 away from Manhattan, Kansas. That also could bring us some rumbles of thunder here over the next few hours and is going to further boost those rain chances here in Kansas City through the rest of your Saturday morning. Now, if we look even further behind that details another area that is finding snow so far on this Saturday morning. That line is where we could tap into a few snow flurries in Kansas City and the surrounding areas in the early afternoon. So we are watching the metro very closely today for a few flurries out there. Overall, that potential is very, very low, but of course we'll be watching that for you all throughout your day. Current conditions right now, if you can believe it, this is the warmest we're going to get today, because this system that is generating all this rain and that snow up north is going to bring in a strong blast of some cold and wintry air back behind it. That's what's going to bring our first warn on our Sunday into place. But for today, know that we are going to cool throughout the rest of your morning. We're already seeing it happen. We hit our morning high of 40 just about an hour ago. We're already in the 30s, feeling like we are below freezing, with a lot of humidity, what's contributing to that rain chance. Again, we are going to cool down even further into your Sunday, so that's why that first warn is in place. But then by the time Monday rolls around, that's when we get a higher snowfall potential headed our way. Now again, today, accumulation next to nothing, and that's if we even find some flurries out there around the metro. But on Monday, that snow potential much higher, including in the metro. So I want to get you details on that too. We're getting the latest data in on that. So let's check out these next 3 days and those next 3 first warns in terms of what the forecast looks like for your day. So today, 40 degrees, we already hit it again about an hour ago. First warn in place for this rain, but also the very, very low end chance we find a few flurries here in a few hours. Sunday, temperatures drop significantly, 20s and below freezing all around the clock. So some of that moisture that we'll have lingering out on the roadways and on sidewalks, grassy areas could freeze tomorrow morning on our Sunday, making for slick road conditions, especially over elevated surfaces like overpasses and bridges. So if you are getting out and about on Sunday, even if it's not super early in the morning, please be extra careful on the roads out there. We'll be monitoring those with you. Then on Monday, There we go. You start to see those snowflakes on the screen. That's where we bring in that higher snow potential. Monday will actually be colder than Sunday, all around the clock, but we are really watching for that snow potential, and that is why that first warn is in place. Again, that's on Monday. So today we are continuing to find rain in Kansas City, the surrounding areas, and most of our viewing area. But there's that line where you could start to see the pinks and purples. That's where we will continue to find some snow showers through the rest of our Saturday morning up towards Maryville, Bethany, even maybe Cameron, tapping into some wintry mix, Chillicothe as well. In the meantime, Kansas City around 10, 11 a.m., that's where those thunderstorms and those stronger and more intense rainfall returns we were getting on radar I just showed you a couple minutes ago start to pull into the downtown area, bringing more intense rain, maybe some stray rumbles of thunder. That will pass us by pretty quickly as this storm system really gets moving. This winter storm system does out to the east. That will eventually peel back rain chances into the afternoon, but also bring in a very brief window. This is where we're tapping into it early afternoon where we could find a few flurries, a few wet snowflakes out there, but then that potential is going to be incredibly short-lived around the metro, whereas snow showers do continue and linger up towards that Missouri-Iowa border before, again, pushing out to the east. So by about 6, 7 o'clock, we are much drier, but also cooling down significantly. What you can't see on your screen right now is where those temperatures are going to drop significantly as we pull in much drier air. Here's a review. If you're watching from Kansas City, in and around the metro, and areas along and south of I-70, this is what we're seeing here for the morning. Rainy, very wet start. We're going to have to deal with more rain over the next several hours. Even some of that will linger into the afternoon. But for in and around downtown, could find a few flurries out there. It's a very low chance that we actually switch to snow, but it's one that we will be watching and tracking here with you. And then in the evening time, we are trending much drier, maybe a couple leftover snowflakes that are dusting on the grass, but that is pretty much it. And as we look at forecast snow totals and accumulation, you can see zeros all across the map from St. Joe all the way south to Butler. That of course includes Kansas City. Now we will still have some puddling on the roadways because of all that rain we're finding this morning, and even more rain that we'll find over the next couple of hours. But if we look up towards Bethany, Chillicothe, where I've been talking about those snow showers continuing, they could catch anywhere from about 1 inch to 3 inches of snow by the time today is all said and done, and by the time we get that wintry system out of here. That is also why they are in a winter weather advisory. That's where you see that purple color. That's where those snow totals look to be, and they will be the highest along the Missouri-Iowa border up there. So that was what we're finding on Future Track radar for your Saturday. And then Sunday, as I mentioned, we do dry out, and then we turn all eyes onto our Monday. So Sunday, in the meantime, is going to be dry, still mostly cloudy, but the coldest day of the season so far. That's why that first warn is going to be in place and hold in place all day long. We will not get above freezing on Sunday, so it's going to be important that you are bundling up. Warm jacket, hat, gloves, layers, essential, not just nice, just essential to make yourself comfortable and warm in Sunday's frigid temperatures. Monday, though, we get even colder, as I mentioned, and that's when we start to bring in this snow potential at a 70%. That's why that first warn on Monday is in place. And overall, we've been seeing an increasing snow potential and more models getting on track with agreeing data, essentially, that we look to tap into a wintry system on Monday. Of course, the timing is not great. We are all getting back to work and school that day as we are now enjoying this long holiday weekend. So we'll be monitoring that Monday commute both morning and evening very closely, because at this time, timing on this system is on the blurrier side. So we're about to start tapping into some higher resolution data, which is really going to help us out with knowing what to expect from this system. But we've had this first warn on Monday for a bit now, so we just really want to get you ahead of the curve and keep you informed throughout this weekend, where it could be really easy to just, stay off your phone, really enjoy time with family. Now we just want to get you that information very efficiently so that you can plan and get ready for the upcoming week ahead. The reason Monday is keeping really close watch is because it looks to be our first snowfall accumulation of the season, and that includes the Kansas City metro. So at this time, 1 to 3 inches of snow possible, not guaranteed, but possible. This is something that we're watching, and we'll fine tune that snowfall potential with you over the next few days and continue to keep you informed on that, because of course this is impactful, and it will matter if this is a more short-lived event or a longer one, meaning more hours of snow versus less hours of snow. So we're going to be working out all those details for you all around the clock on your weekend and on your Monday. Of course, we'll be tracking it with you live all day long. So please tune in and stay informed and get prepared. Make sure that you plan extra time in that morning commute, but that you also are keeping that warm winter gear with you. You will definitely need it Sunday, Monday, and even after that. Your Security Bank 7-day forecast showing you how temperatures still don't even escape the 30s. Maybe we pop above freezing each afternoon, but every morning and evening time it's going to be quite chilly out there through the rest of the week. So keep those jackets close by. We will try to find sunshine again on your Tuesday, but until then, a very impactful 3 days. Again, stay tuned in with us, and we'll continue to keep you prepared for that as we get even more data into the First Warn 5 Weather Center. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. Please drive very safely out there and enjoy the rest of your weekend.